There is just so damn much work. Hey, I am Chuck the Bureaucrat, and I gotta warn you that today I'm gonna tell a story that involves some kind of unpleasant elements of animal cruelty. So if that's not something you want in your life today, I recommend you go watch this video on the ideal action officer's attributes. Okay, you probably know that throughout human history, people have come up with all kinds of things for dogs to fight. Bears and bulls, chasing deer and rabbits, fighting each other, even fighting monkeys. And in the mid-1800s, there was this unusual form of blood sport that emerged in England called rat baiting. England had passed some laws outlawing dogs fighting against large mammals. People had moved into tightly packed cities, and there was a teeming population of rats. And so rat baiting moved to the forefront as a gambling sport. And by now you might be asking, what does this have to do with my assignment to the Pentagon? Well, the way that rat fighting worked is you'd put a dog, sometimes two, into a small confined place, like a sawed-off wine cask. Then they would dump hundreds of live rats onto the dogs, and they would bet on how many rats the dogs could kill in a certain time, or if the rats could kill the dog. Now, out in the regular world, a terrier can kill a rat, no problem. But in that pit, with scores of rats crawling around, well, that can overwhelm a dog. And something similar happens to a lot of military officers who show up at the Pentagon. Most of the problems are simple on their own. It's the sheer number, the speed, and the volume that starts to become the issue. When I arrived at the Pentagon as a young major, I had a really simple organizational system for handling tasks. I would make a list of all the tasks I was responsible for. I'd worry about them until they got done, but once everything was checked off the list, I'd relax. And I applied that basic strategy to my early work at the Pentagon. The only problem was that that list was so long and it filled up so fast that no matter how hard I worked or how long I worked, I could never get to the point that I could relax. And I know, somewhere out there, somebody's saying, well, you just got to be comfortable with some things not getting done. Well, first of all, some of us ain't built that way. And second, it seems to me that trying to get it all done is kind of what the Pentagon is looking for in action officers. The trick is to focus on the things that your senior rater values. Not your boss, but the person who gives you that top block. Prioritize the tasks that your senior rater values. Don't chase everything that he cares about because he's got other action officers working on that. Sometimes prioritizing what your senior rater values means sitting through long, boring meetings that they know nothing about. That's fine, but be wary of long, boring meetings that never influence the things that your senior rater cares about. And now, if you really want to know what your senior rater cares about, watch this video to see the 2 questions you should ask him as soon as you can.